The founders I work with all have the same tell. They can talk about their business for an hour without flinching. Ask them one question about themselves and they go quiet. That silence is where everything you actually want is hiding. And today I'm handing you 5 questions that go straight into it. If you answer them honestly, by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why you're stuck. But most people won't answer them honestly. That's part of why they stay stuck. Now let's get into it. Question 1. Who do I keep telling people I am? And is that still true? See, founders do this constantly. You introduce yourself the same way you did 3 years ago. The grinder, the hustler, the guy who works 80 hours a week, the woman who sacrifices everything for the business. And somewhere along the way, that story stopped being a description and started being a cage. You're not who you were when you started this thing, but you keep performing that old version because it's familiar and because the people around you reward it. So you keep showing up as someone you've already outgrown, and then you wonder why nothing feels right anymore. Ask yourself this: if I met me for the first time today, would the way I describe myself match what I actually want? Or am I still selling an old version because I haven't decided who I am now? Question 2. What am I getting out of staying stuck? This one stings. Because the assumption is always that being stuck is bad, that nobody would choose it, but you're choosing it every day. And there's a reason. Maybe being stuck means you never have to find out if you're actually capable of more. Maybe it lets you keep the identity of the underdog, the one who's almost there. Maybe it gives you a built-in excuse for not showing up fully in your marriage, with your kids, or in your business. Every pattern you can't break is paying you something: comfort, identity, an excuse, permission to not try. Until you can name what you're getting from staying where you are, you'll never voluntarily leave. So sit with it. What's the payoff? And is it worth the price? Question 3. Whose permission am I still waiting for? I see this in successful founders all the time. They've built something real, they've got revenue, they've got proof, and they're still waiting for a parent to be proud, for a mentor to validate them, for a spouse to finally say, I see you, for some imaginary panel of judges to officially declare them legitimate. And while they wait, they play small, they hedge, they don't make the bigger move because they haven't been told they're allowed to. Here's what I want you to understand. The permission slip you're waiting for is never coming. The people you want it from are too busy waiting for their own. You have to write it yourself. And the day you stop needing approval to act is the day your whole life starts moving. So whose voice is still living rent-free in your head, deciding what you're allowed to want? Let's take a quick pause. If these questions are landing, this is the work we do every day inside the Frame Breakers Inner Circle. It's a community of founders and operators who got tired of staying the same and decided to actually do something about it. Not theory, not feel-good content, real work on the patterns that are keeping you where you are. The link is in the description. If you're ready to stop reading about this stuff and start applying it with people who get it, come join us. Now let's get back to it. Question number 4. What conversation am I avoiding, and what is that costing me? Every founder I've ever worked with has at least one. The conversation with the business partner who's not pulling their weight. The conversation with the employee who needs to go. The conversation with the spouse about money, or the resentment that's been building for 2 years. The conversation with the client who keeps disrespecting your time. You're not avoiding it because you can't have it. You're avoiding it because the version of you who's available right now doesn't want to find out what happens on the other side of it. So you tolerate, you manage around it, you let it leak energy out of every other part of your life. And here's the part that nobody says. The cost of avoiding that conversation is almost always higher than the cost of having it. You're just paying it in installments instead of all at once. What's the conversation? And what would actually happen if you had it this week? Question number 5. Would the person I'm trying to become be proud of how I spent today? Not in some big philosophical way, just today. The actual hours, the actual decisions, the actual conversations. Most people are running on autopilot from a self-image that was set when they were 19 or 25 or right after their last big failure. They make decisions based on who they used to be, and then they're confused when their life looks like the life of who they used to be. The future version of you, the one you actually want to become, is already making different decisions in your head. You hear that voice, but you ignore it constantly. You override it with old habits and old fears and old explanations. What if you just listen to that voice for 1 week? What would change? 5 questions. Who do I keep telling people I am? What am I getting out of staying stuck? Whose permission am I still waiting for? What conversation am I avoiding? And would my future self be proud of today? You don't need a new strategy. You don't need a new system. You don't need another book or another podcast or another course. You just need to sit with these 5 questions until they crack something open. Then you need to do something about what you find. But most people won't. They'll watch this, nod along, and go right back to the same loop tomorrow morning. Because insight without action is just entertainment. If you're ready to actually do the work and you want someone in your corner who can see the patterns you can't see in yourself, that's what I do. Book a coaching call with me. The link is in the description. One real conversation can save you years of figuring it out alone. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.